Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to Logan County Fiscal Court this morning, and we do have some guests here with us, and they'll be introduced later. As far as COVID report, we didn't get anything new yesterday from the state, but the Barron River District Health Department, for Friday to Friday, we had 24 cases in Logan County. I'm proud to say that Logan County has been orange for about a week now, a little bit over. And that being said, and we got other people in our community hurting from deaths in the family and different things, illnesses, and we'd like to remember those folks. And Barry, would you like to do our prayer this morning?
I would. Let us pray. Father, we just come to you this morning. Father, we just want to thank you for this day that you've blessed us with, Father. And we just thank you for the ones that have showed up this morning to help us to go over the views of the county, Father. And we just ask that we do it pleasing to you, Father. We ask you to be with the ones that are hurting in our county, Father. And we just thank you for the report, Father, that the COVID is declining some. And Father, we just want to thank you for that. Father, we want to thank you for the ones that are caretakers. Father, be with our military, be with the ones in our armed service, Father, that they're protecting us. Now lead, guide, and direct us. In the precious name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, we do need to remember Eastern Europe, too, and what's going on over there.
That's true.
So, anyhow, with all that being said, we'll call the meeting to order with a pledge to the American flag and salute.
Be honored to do so. Let's come to attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Somebody does know. You got an extra pencil.
Okay, the first thing on the agenda today is the approval of the minutes from the
Motion to approve February 22nd meeting minutes is presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second on the minutes. Now, is there any question? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, we got a special guest here with us, and I've always considered a special guest, and that's Mr. Tom Harney. And he's going to introduce a new person to our community today that is going to hold an important position in Logan County. So welcome, Tom.
Good morning.
It don't look like a beach,
You
Tom.
all again in an official setting. Been a while. Andrew Beatty is the new administrator for the hospital. Most of you all know, maybe you don't. I'm the new chairman of the board of trustees for the hospital, so I was involved in recruiting Andrew. We're very pleased to have him. He comes to us from Greenview and Bowling Green. He's a native of Nashville, and I'll let you tell you about his plans for the hospital and a little bit more about him and his family. So Andrew Beatty.
Andrew, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really excited to be here. Really excited that when I guess it was our last board meeting, just talking about the hospital. I've been there for about a month now. Previous was at Greenview and Bowling Green for about 7 years. Worked with HCA for about 20 years in healthcare. So really excited to be in this position. Really excited to work with the folks here. We've been working with the ladies and gentlemen at Logan Memorial for a long time, how we can better serve and help and do the things. So I felt really excited about this opportunity because I feel like I kind of know what's going on with Logan in Logan County and for the patients in this region. And so when they asked me to take the role, I was extremely excited and just been spending the first month or so getting to know everyone, kind of getting around, meeting folks, finding out what's going on. And one of the first things I really identified is as a hospital, we're a proud taxpayer to this community. I think we paid about $1.5 million in taxes in 2020, had a payroll of just over $11 million due about $2.4 million in uncompensated care and benefits. And so again, feel like as a healthcare provider and a community member, we're a proud community member and want to be able to invest back in the local economy as well as the people here. And being a tax-paying entity, we have a great opportunity to not only serve and meet the needs of the people in Logan County, but also financially as well through taxes. And so one of my goals, and I shared this with Tom and our board last week, is I want Logan County to be the sole provider for health care for every business, every entity, every person in Logan County. Obviously, there are services we don't offer, but we are going to be looking to expand our services and our outreach, making sure that we're meeting the needs of the community. And one of the things, my goal is, and I'm not bashful in saying it, but as great as Owensboro Health is, as great as the Med Center is, as great as Greenview is, they're not based in Logan County. And every medical procedure, every patient that they pull out of this county away from Logan Memorial is tax revenue that we're losing. And it inhibits our ability to serve this community better. So part of that is, as an organization, as Logan Memorial, we need to be in tune with the community, making sure that we're serving the community and providing the care that's needed. So that's the challenge that I have that I'm going to be taking out. We've already met with some local leadership and local businesses, and I've told them the same thing. I want to be your healthcare provider. I want to do your tests. I want to do your procedures. I want to take care of your people because we have excellent quality. If you're not aware, a couple of years ago, Logan Memorial was a 5-star CMS rated hospital. That's the highest level you can get. Currently, we're a 4-star. I think in Bowling Green, your highest rating is 2, maybe 3. And there's a lot that goes into that. And I hear a lot of people say, well, you're a small hospital, it's a lot easier. It's really not. Because in a smaller hospital, all it takes is one and it messes everything up. So the fact that we are a 4-star CMS, we're a Leapfrog A, and if you go to Hospital Compare, it's a government-run website that's independent, you'll see that we have the highest quality care in this region. That's something that I'm very proud of. I was very excited about inheriting because that's something that I don't have to screw up and I don't have to fix. So when you have great quality, great culture, and you have the support of physicians in your community, you're going to be successful and you're going to be able to grow, and that's what we're looking to do. Some of you may be aware, LifePoint last year bought Kindred Health Services, which are long-term care rehab facilities, and have since taken all their hospitals and everything, and they've spun off a new company called Scion Health. In Logan Memorial, we are part of now with Scion Health. So there's 18 hospitals, and I believe it's 80 or 60 to 80 long-term acute care hospitals. And what's exciting about that is that allows for more capital to be invested in the hospitals. So typically as a hospital, especially in a company, you're competing against other hospitals, and they're going to look at a business return on if we need a new piece of equipment, what area is going to have the best return. And so then they kind of invest that way. Right now with Scion, we're one of fewer hospitals and should have more access to capital. So I'm excited about the capital investment that we're going to be making into the hospital in the next few years. In 2020, we added over $340,000, and I'm looking to add even more in the next couple of years so we can grow our services. And then the other thing is that, again, being partners in the community, there's some bills that are going through right now. The House Bill 777 is one that passed the House of Representatives yesterday. It is going to the Senate for a vote as well, and it's around EMS reform. And while we have no issues at all with EMS services here and have a great relationship with them, this is something that we feel is going to be beneficial to hospitals and healthcare providers. So it's something, if you want more information on, I'm glad to help you get to the resources to find out about that. But again, I just want to thank you all for welcoming me here, and I'm really excited to be a part of this community, and really am looking forward to growing our hospital and getting back to the reputation as being a healthcare provider here, where everyone knows that Logan Memorial is where you're going to go for your health care.
Okay, Andrew, appreciate you coming this morning, and welcome you to the community.
Thank you.
And does the court have any questions?
I don't necessarily have any questions, just I want to encourage you to reach out to county government anytime. I served on that board for many years and as a board of trustees. You know, it's always helpful if you'll reach out to your elected officials for anything that would just help, especially with just public, you know, awareness and what's going on and what we can do to help. And,
Yeah, definitely. I love
sure to do that.
I love being a part of the community, and especially the community government, because decisions do matter, and decisions that are made at a local level matter. And the other thing too that I want to be helpful as well. So if there's things that are needed, you know, again, we're part of a large corporation that has a lot of connections and things. So if there's things that the hospital can do to help, or if there's things, I want that relationship to be the same way. So I'm very excited about taking you up on that offer and reaching out. So it'll probably be a little while, or just a matter of time till I get out and start meeting everyone. But again, I'm really excited about the opportunities we have ahead.
Good to have you.
Glad to be
Good
here.
day.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else got a comment, question? Okay. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we'll
you,
be able to
Tom.
pick you out on the street now. Okay, y'all. More welcome to say, Andrew, or anytime you need to leave, you can go ahead and leave at any time too, okay? Okay, next item of business is the bill list and the supplemental bill list.
Judge, I make a motion that we approve the bill list and the supplemental bill list as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Now, is there any question? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, treasurer report, ma'am.
Good morning, Court.
Morning.
In your folders, you should have a copy of the financial statement ending February 28th of 2022. The balance in the general fund was $2,065,524.33. Road fund, $422,230.71. Jail fund, $58,360.76. LGEA, $124,058.04. Federal grants fund, $54.68. Solid waste recycling, $542,926.09. Parks and Rec, $500,479.86. Occupational tax, $7,026,560.00. Life skills, $153,548.52. 911 fund, $69,265.42. Health insurance fund, $389,825.43. ARPA fund, $2,634,787.98. Special reserve, $4,185,013.19. For a total of all funds, $18,172,635.01.
They get that acknowledged.
I move to acknowledge.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. There's questions.
Amanda, how much longer will we need to keep the health insurance fund as it is?
That fund is still active. Transactions are going in and out of that on a daily basis. We're still using that as our self-insurance fund. So each month I transfer claims funds and HRA funds to that account, and anything that Anthem will bill me on a monthly basis for claims, and they come out of that fund. So we are seeing those transactions on a regular basis. So right now, that is just kind of the balance. I did do a transfer on March 1st to that fund for the month of January. We're running a month behind on it. I like to make sure I'm in balance before I transfer to that fund.
So that, this is not just the balance when we were doing the self-insured
No.
portion?
And we're still self-insured, and we're still using it for that.
Okay, still using that line item, okay.
Yes,
It was my understanding we would always have this on.
as long as we're self-insured,
Okay,
yes.
I got you.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay.
No, go ahead. This is something different, different subject.
I have a list of budget transfers in your folders that we need to get approved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second, and I was up here reading the note, and I guess it's on cash transfer,
This is a budget transfer.
budget transfers, okay. Questions? Not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle. Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
And I do have one cash transfer this morning. Today, we need to transfer $60,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the jail fund.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second, on the cash transfer, question. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
That's all I have for you this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hate to go back on, we've already voted on it, but I forgot to mention, on the bills, there was a monitor and manage antivirus software ECC for $500 to Copper Band. Monitor and manage the antivirus software. Is that for one computer, all computers, for 1 year, or?
That's for the entire computers, and it's gonna be, what we're running into is I have to have a lot of work done as far as IT work. And by doing a monthly for $500, it's cheaper.
$500 a month?
A month to monitor everything. It's cheaper than for him to clean out my entire room, which was gonna cost me about $3,500.
Okay.
In the long run, it'll average out. Because it was gonna, I've got to, he's gonna, it's not just antivirus, it's gonna be IT work and stuff as well.
That was something we talked about before, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we decided not to go.
We were
with it.
gonna try to find somebody for the county, and we hadn't found anybody, and
Right.
I'm to the point I've got to get something done.
Gotcha. We didn't sign a year contract or anything, did we?
No, it's just month to month.
Month to month, okay. Thanks.
I'm kind of in similar strains on my office, since we don't have an IT person to go to.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's move on to road work request, Tyler.
District 1, on Dakota Lane, I'd like to post a speed limit sign out there. Somebody had requested 20, but I don't know if you have 20, or 25, whichever one. Do we have any 20 miles per hour, like in the county that you can think of, or something that we?
15.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with 20. We'll see how that goes.
Write a ticket for a bicycle.
Well, there are a lot of kids out there on bicycles for sure.
Some people can run over 20 miles an hour, so it could even be on foot.
I don't know anything about that. It has to be real big.
Probably in Indianapolis,
Tell
the
you
NFL
Usain Bolt
Combine,
to
right?
stay away.
Yeah.
The world's fastest man.
Hey, I'm sorry, Tom.
And then Kim's Court ditch in the back corner back there, I think you've already went out there, so just want to mention that. And that's it. Team maintenance, appreciate everything.
District 2, everything's good. Thank you very much. Continue maintenance.
District 3, Markham Road, we'll look at that tile anytime you want to. We'll go out there and see about that cross tile, and just thanks for all the hard work y'all do, and continue maintenance.
District 4, same thing, continue maintenance, we appreciate all the work.
District 5, everything's good. I noticed last night on going through this, y'all bought almost $10,000 worth of gravel. Is that the last month or the last 2 weeks? Is it for a month there on the bills? You know.
I don't know whether it's last
Well, it was 9,000, I think $700 some dollars worth of gravel.
That'd be on a month.
Okay, well, I got 369, so some of y'all got a lot of gravel.
Well, we had a lot of,
19.
we had a lot of repair work from where the tornado went
I'm
through.
not complaining, I'm just saying, in going through this, I noticed it.
A whole lot of it where we've done all that paving, we gotta put shoulders on.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing it. I was just wondering how long it's for. Yeah, sure, everything's good.
Okay, what that was for was side dressing, new paving, and then tornado repair.
Yeah.
Okay? And it runs somewhere close to that about every month.
Yeah, $7,000-8,000.
District 6, continue maintenance. Where are you? There you are. You moved on me. Just don't forget about my one out there on Stevenson Mill Road that we've already talked about where the snow grader knocked the guy's driveway out. Mr. Gettings, can't remember the address, but we approved it several months ago. He called the other day and I told him just the asphalt plant hadn't opened up yet.
I'm supposed to meet with Nathan Thursday or Friday. In the spring paving, they let me know. Of course, they go off the plant the 21st.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I was wanting to touch on that too. Y'all got any spring
A little
paving
bit.
that you plan on doing? And you know you plan on doing it, we need to get with Kelly on that paving, because y'all know how difficult it is to get them back after they commit to another county or to a state project, so.
Okay, Judge, too, the EMS, we approved that back some time ago. They need to
Yeah.
get that when they come back out this time, too.
You need to point that out to them, Kelly, because we took a bid on that.
It's been a while, too.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I've been forgetting about it until you mentioned it.
Okay, got a motion on the roadwork request.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second, question. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, elected officials, Mary. Mary left everybody a list of what she, and I just saw it when I walked up here as far as the coroner's office, and,
It was JKS we hired, wasn't it, to do that consultation on the...
we hadn't hired anybody yet, we're waiting to get this list.
Wait, to get this list? Oh.
JKS supposed to meet with me this afternoon, though.
For something totally different, or for...
Well, it's for the plans here at the courthouse. And I've got it on the agenda. They're supposed to have completed everything on those plans. And so I can talk to them this afternoon about that. They're supposed to meet with me at 3 o'clock if any of you's interested in seeing the plans, okay? Okay, Phil.
Thank you, Judge Chick. Good morning, Board.
Morning.
That's what he told me. And he said maybe more than that.
Okay, we have a total of 174, 97 are county, 77 are state.
I think I was just sort of looking through arrest reports and stuff. When you take in a state inmate, they get booked just like they picked up off the street, correct? They go through the
They
arrest
do.
docket, just, okay.
You go through the entire process.
I know she had like 11 one day, and a lot of them from away from here, so that's why I was.
Yeah, we're bringing in the revenue.
Okay, questions for Phil?
That's all I have.
All you got?
I got a
Okay.
question, because I don't know. When the judge tries, because y'all probably know, when the judge tries somebody, do you have to take them, or do they video them from the jail?
When it what? What was the first?
I guess when they go to the judge for sentencing, do they,
Go to the
WebEx or
Zoom?
go
You had
straight?
to, y'all have to take them over to
take-
court.
The sheriff's department comes, picks them up at the jail, takes them to the courthouse.
Okay,
Is that what you're asking?
yeah, but some,
Are you saying, do we do Zoom?
no, I'm just saying, and I know for a fact, because I was in court, up in Illinois.
You been in jail?
Yeah, no, not jail. They're close to it.
Okay. I'm not,
When I was in court, the first thing the judge did was try put bail or whatever, some of them people, and they stood, they had been everybody in the courtroom and said, they didn't bring them in.
I'm gonna refer you to,
I'll just say, it happens different ways everywhere. COVID, we did have to use that as a last resort. Everything we do currently is in person. I think certain locales like Lexington, big cities have infrastructure and the money for that type of thing, but Phil would have to have extra guards, and he would have to have a big influx to his wireless capabilities. So we're not doing that at this point, but some places do that, but typically it's only for limited things like arraignments, and everything else is in person.
Well, the ones I seen, the judge could just talk to them, he could see them on the
Yeah.
big screen.
yeah,
And he could set their bail or whatever he was doing right there, and they didn't have to bring them in.
we're not set up like that.
You got to
I
have
didn't
a,
know, I mean,
Yeah.
typically you got to have a bigger facility to eat that type of money you need for the technology. That's the big part of it, and then having somebody devote to doing that, and space, I guess, because if you got half your jail going to court on the way our dockets are set up, Thursdays is a marathon for Phil's guys and the sheriff's department as well, just getting people over to court. So that's part of the hurdles.
all right. I got a call several years ago by CDLs in Illinois, so I had to go to court.
Did you make it to jail? That's, anybody else have any questions? That's all I have.
I've got a question.
Yes,
When you
sir.
transport prisoners, or they are being transported,
Mm-hmm.
are they secured handcuff-wise
They
as they
are,
leave the jail and as they get before the judge and coming all the way back?
they're in shackles, hand and leg shackles.
Are you using handcuffs, or are you using the ties?
They have cuffs on their wrist with a chain, down the cuffs on their ankles.
Okay, you're not using those pull things anymore?
No,
Zip ties.
no, they're
Well,
disposables. They're
well,
quite
I know
expensive.
they got to be expensive at one time.
No, we haven't used those since I've been jailer.
Yeah,
No, not since I've been jailer, before.
okay. Hey, where'd you, remember?
I think at one time.
I brought it up in here one time, it's costing so much.
Can't tell you how
We don't use them.
they were used or
Is there any time
the protocol was.
standing in front of the judge that's taken off?
Only when they go to trial, they won't have them on. And again, I think our county attorney can speak to that as well. But there's a reason for that, too.
I'm sure there is, no
There's a reason.
question about that.
But while they're going for arraignments and stuff like that, they will be in shackles.
During trials, anytime the jury's present, you've got to have them outside of shackles and in street clothes for purposes of, it's bias the jury. So that's constitutional law that you've got to have them look like any other person who's not in custody.
Yeah, well,
I helped with a federal civil trial over 10 years ago, and they didn't think about that, so we actually had to hold jury selection so the bailiffs who transported the guy could go buy him a jumpsuit that he wore the entire week, because all he had was his prison clothes, and that would have been irreversible error just right off the bat if you
well, I was more interested in the handcuffs if they were still being used.
We do not use disposable handcuffs. Water ties, or, you know what I'm talking about. No, we don't do that.
It was court when I brought that up.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you, Phil.
Phil, the only thing, I don't know if we take it up now or later, but I mean, needs to be a recommendation on getting your roof fixed, and I'll make a suggestion either verbally or in writing, but you just need to put out a request for proposal, and it's going to be a material and labor situation, because you're just going to be seek, find, and fix.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing you just go up there and like, oh, wow, you know, this roof's blown open right here. There's none of that. It looks good to the eye, but you have multiple spots that are leaking, and you're just going to have to get a company up there, time and material, kind of like we do our plumber. You know, we're under a contract with a plumber, buy the hour and material, and they're just going to get up there with a water hose, spray, find the leak, fix the leak. Spray the next spot, find the leak, fix the leak. You know, the only thing that I can tell you for sure that you could put up in writing is those gutter joints. All the gutters need to be cleaned out, dried, and all the gutter joints need to be sealed. And that the exercise part that has the room over the roof over top of the wiring over top of it, all that brick right there needs to be clean, tuck pointed, or blocked, clean, tuck pointed, and then sealed. We're getting moisture in that, and it's just starting to, you know, kind of chip a little bit. It's not real bad, but just a little.
How do we need to advertise for that, or just?
Yeah, judge needs to put out a request for proposal. He can, you know, like I said, I could type up a little something, and the judge's office could rewrite it, you know, but it's really just time and material. Just find the leaks, fix the leaks, clean the gutters, seal the gutters, clean the brick, tuck point them, and seal them in that area. And it wouldn't hurt to look. I mean, walking in the front entrance on the right-hand side there, which I guess is kind of your office window there, the same thing is starting to happen to those blocks right there. So, you know, it wouldn't hurt to kind of look at a couple of different spots that may need to be sealed as well.
Okay.
Have you got that all written down? Yes.
Would that be two different?
I mean, that,
The roof and the
It's pretty detailed, it's way over my.
the reason I'm asking, because that, of course, that's a county building. I don't know who, you know, needs to put out the request for proposal.
Your office.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Go back and watch the YouTube video and everything you said put
Yeah,
on.
Jane, it's good point.
I would say get a little write-up from Thomas, and then we've had to do it once before with the Stuart Ritchie plumbing agreement, so just plug in whatever Thomas writes up into the bid we did for the...
You're going to want to do that just in time and material. I'm just telling you, because, you know, if you were to ask me to bid that, I mean, I'm just going to bid it super high, because I don't know what it's going to take.
Right.
You know, but if you just got a company that would just give you a labor rate and material, you know, material's going to be very minor in material. And just hire them at that. And
you think it's gonna be over our bid figure?
I'd be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised, or no?
No, it's not going to be 30,000. No, it won't be 30,000. I don't think. So I'd be shocked if it was. So, you know, although you have multiple leaks, a lot of them are stemming from one place because that's a concrete deck underneath there, and it hits that concrete, and then it's just trying to find the first opening it can find, and then the harder and longer it rains, it gives it more opportunity to spread, you know, to the next open spot, and the next one, and the next one. So, anyhow, they just a little TLC, and it wouldn't hurt to have that contract on hand at all times, and then that way, when you do have a leak, you know, maybe you just call them back and say, hey, I've found another one. Y'all need to come, and you've got just like you do the plumber. You know, when the thing breaks, you know, it's $110 an hour plus material. Okay, come fix this.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to be waiting and waiting and
That's
waiting
right.
and waiting and waiting.
That's
Just
right.
Get a contract in place and have them on call, you know, for service and be done with it. And, anyhow, you know, I can give you a list of, you know, some companies, Bowling Green, and, you know, you may even have to tap into the Nashville market. I don't know. Advertise it local, but I don't know who's going to respond to it local.
Will the brick and roof be two separate bid things?
Yeah, probably so. You could
Like it.
separate that out.
That's what I was thinking, it probably need to be separated. Somebody specializing in roof might not do that.
The roofer's just going to call it brick mason if you lump it in there together.
Appreciate your help on that.
Yeah, I'll write little notes out and shoot them to Joe and Judge, and they can put out a RFP.
All right, thank you.
It's all brick and concrete, right?
The building?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a masonry,
Yeah, it's not
CMU
gonna rot out.
block, and the roof itself is concrete.
Yeah.
So when they dig out.
Even though they drive.
Well, I'm saying is, you know, with the, you got leaks, sure, but, you know, and easy to fix because they're concrete and steel.
The roof looks good. I mean, I think you've got some,
We sealed it a couple of years ago ourselves, but this is something that we don't have the expertise
You ever seen Sawshank
in
Redemption?
fixing ourselves.
you got it, didn't it?
Before you leave, I'll say one thing I appreciate is they out there picking up Bumpy Road. I'll be glad when the warm weather comes, we're gonna mow it where you can do a little more of it.
Really attack it. I'm gonna hopefully get 2 crews out when that time comes.
Right, well, 'cause it's
Because it's
bad.
getting bad. Just ask people not to throw their trash out on the road, but I don't know if that does any good or not, so.
You know, yeah, I agree. But I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah.
But the trouble, you know what I do, and I see it every day. People ain't just throwing that. There's boxes out there that big where they're rolling off these trucks. Either the regular garbage trucks or somebody's pickup truck. I mean, I've seen this morning, you couldn't even get them out the window, they so big, right on 68. Yeah,
Well, we'll do the best we can.
I understand that.
When the
But
weather's
I'm
right.
always glad to see them out there, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Anybody? Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all should have, in your package, you should have the fee report from the county clerk's office.
Motion to approve the Logan County Clerk fee report for February.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second. Now, is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, now we got our sergeant at arms and our county sheriff fee report.
So acknowledge.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second on the fee report. Question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got a, county judge got a personnel action request on payroll clerk and benefit coordinator. We had one application turned in, and it was Janice.
Oh,
For that coordinator.
I got it. Just
All right.
keep your seat, man. Keep your seat.
You need to get up and restrict leave, don't we?
Yeah, Judge is doing it. Judge is making one for personnel action request for Janice to fill in that one position.
Can we do a background check on this lady?
Thanks.
We did.
Sheriff's here, he can do it real quick. Run it through, what's that national program? NCIC, yeah.
Well, pending a background check, make a motion to approve the personnel action request. Janice Klein, 8 years experience, promotion to the payroll clerk's benefits coordinator.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second. Questions?
Just to note that was sarcastic, so Janice doesn't interact.
Yeah, it better be.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, well, we need to make it yesterday.
make this
the
effective
7th.
the 7th of March. Thomas did, I think.
Ready?
Thomas seconded.
Okay, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, department heads. Ginger, got anything else? Kelly? Me and Kelly both real concerned about the spring blacktop. So I'm gonna iterate it one more time if y'all got any plans. We need to be talking about it.
You just tell them to come on. We got plans. You tell them to come on. We got plans.
Okay.
They said they'd start with us and try to knock us out. They don't work in the states, so we can, what we can get this month, next month, that'll be about it.
I've already got that one list for you. I'll try to write a lot this weekend, and if we see anything else, first of the week, I'll try to have it all laid out.
Barry said he's donating 20,000 to
No.
District 1.
He did not.
Okay,
I like you, but
Not that much.
good morning.
Had some reports in there, so we'll go over those. The litter abatement pickup for February, we did have about 5 miles done with different things going there, 74 bags and quite a few tires, 45 tires, been very tiresome, but we have made it through and then continue to find a lot. And I'll talk about something we have in mind for that in a minute, but appreciate the detention center crew and just the work that's been done out there. So, I did mention too, as far as the tornado pickups that y'all approved, we did have, they're not gonna be on that sheet, but we did have 2 that got done over the weekend up in the northeast part where the tornadoes hit. So, and I'll have more details about that next report.
I'll ask you about this later,
Yeah.
but that looks like somebody dumped a bunch and just, we'll be able to
So-
track that down.
What's that?
We ought to be able to track that one down, probably, that many in one spot, or if we do, we have tracked it down.
So that's it. That was at Buena Vista Road. There's a spot, well, you may know where it is, a wooded area where there's a lot of tire. Yeah, I've had a lot of dumps there. It was dumped right around the time of the tire event last year. And no, I don't have any leads on that at this point. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Good place for a camera.
It is. It is a good place for a
I
camera.
was gonna ask, on the nonprofits picking up the trash, do you send like an email to let them know that the money's been bumped up, or contact your ones that come around the most, or how does people know?
So y'all approved 5, right? And so to be done for that, and I've had 3 do it, and yeah, I've contacted the ones that I feel like, I'm pretty sure that was correct. It was up to 5. That's correct. So I've been contacting, because of that number, I've been contacting the groups I feel like would do the best job. So, yeah, so I've been in contact with several, some have turned me down, and I'm hoping I can get the other 2 done fairly shortly that I still have left. So. All right, and then I have I put in a recycling report also for the last month. We've had 20 bales, a little paper. Comment on that, but.
You got your other load off then, right? The load it was loaded, it's delivered?
Yeah, we did.
Price up?
It's kind of a little bit down actually, but we're hanging in. We're hanging in. It's still pretty good. Relative to what it's been in previous years, it's still doing pretty good. So, but, anything else? So I had one thing I wanted to mention and make sure that's okay with y'all. We did want to do another tire event, the small tire events like we do out at the road department, and wanted to check and see if the date of April 22nd would be okay. It's a Friday, and that's just kind of putting that out there. It'd be a 3-hour event where you could bring passenger tires and a couple of semi-tires. And that would just be to put out for everybody, if that's okay.
It'd be how long,
About 3 hours. So it's not anything like the one last year, because the one last year is the one where the state helps us directly. And this is just, I have money from the state, though, that helps us dispose of tires. And so this would be to take care of that.
Explain the road tires again for the road tractors.
Say again, I'm so sorry.
How many tires you talking about?
So tractor tires are very, very expensive to dispose of, as well as semi-tires, and so it would have to be passenger tires, like light truck and car tires, 15 of them off the rim this time.
what's
So
the point, you take it, how many,
15 would be the
3
limit.
hours be long?
It usually is perfectly good, yeah. In fact, it probably could be 2 hours and still be okay. Usually everybody kind of brings them in, but we
And
can.
this guy, we got a limited amount of money to spend
Yeah,
here.
that's why we can't do it. If I did it all day, we'd be really in the red for the county have to shell out a lot of money, so.
And we just had that big amnesty last summer.
Right. So, but we do have some money we can spend for this again, so just putting that out there. If there's a problem with that date, please let me know. So, I had one other thing to mention here, or one other group of things, and I wanted to take time if we needed. So I had some permits to put in, and so there was one hauler permit that is a new hauler. It's called Blue Star Roll-Offs out of Auburn, and they haul to the Apex TPM site out there. They're one of the haulers there. And so they have paid and sent me their insurance and all that good stuff. So I believe they're approved separately from the recyclers, so I just wanted to present them for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve Blue Star Roll-Off's hauler permit application.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second on the one hauler. Is there any question? If not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
All right, and then in your folders also are 2 recyclers, and so I'll go over that in a second. Auburn Pallet. So I detailed some issues, or an issue that had come up in the last year, and I talked with Mr. Belcher, the owner out there. And, he's working on it, and I feel good enough about it to go ahead and bring it here, but that was an issue that came up. Some of the pallets were a little bit leaning, and so it's something he's had to work on out there.
Were you talking about it?
Auburn Pallet, which is in kind of like downtown Auburn.
Oh, okay.
There. And,
You said Belcher, I thought something else.
no, that's something, that's something separate, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is another gentleman.
Okay.
The other recycler, Apex TPM, excuse me. So we have had some discussions within the fiscal court before, and I made a pretty long little blurb there about that, and on that the back of the sheet that I gave to y'all. So just to sum it up, without just reading it to y'all, the trash blows out there. Mr. Kyle has definitely been made aware of and made everybody aware about it. And they do clean in multiple ways, but it does keep coming out there. I have been out there, and it does appear they clean, but it does continue to come. The manager out of that site, his name is Hunter Hanks. He's given me some different ideas to keep the trash in. I wrote those out. But my thoughts on it are, just to present it after I inspected it, is that since they're trying to work on it and clean it out there, to go ahead and approve the permit on the condition that one of these ideas that Mr. Hanks gave me that they work on out there, or the court could revisit the issue at some weeks down the road if they've not done that. So, if that,
I mean, how long are these permits good for?
a year,
A year.
is what it is. But my thoughts are, if you wanted to revisit it at some point, us to revisit it when if they haven't worked on it, then we could.
Do we have to move it a year? Could it be on like a trial basis until we see if they fix the problem and then do it over? Or is that too complicated?
I guess it's the pleasure of the court. That's not something I've ever been aware of anybody ever doing before, but I...
When's the application, when is their current license expired?
I mean, it pretty much is expired now, and they, they would need to be approved pretty much now, I guess, so...
I mean, I'm 100% pro-business, so, but, in this situation, I go out there quite often, and the way they work that up, right there in front of that gate, they'll never stop that trash from blowing under their current layout. You know what I'm saying? It's got a gate all the way around it, but the great big double, I mean, it's 50 foot wide, opens up, and that's how traffic comes in and out. And when they process that, they're literally processing it as far as from here to that exit sign in front of that big gate. And, they're picking it up and separating stuff out. And so that's when that stuff gets airborne, and it's going to go right out.
It's out there
Right
now.
there. I mean, I've never been there, and it's not out.
I went out there this morning. There's, across the road, there's a box of food that big. And it's done gone out in the field, and of course, if you look, you go by, it's blowing across. Of course, we had some winds the last day or something. But it's going out to 68 now, the 4-lane.
So do we need to not approve
Some kind of
this?
silk fence or something within the parameters of where they are
I'll
working.
move that pile one. Either that or hire somebody, they ought to hire somebody to pick that up every day. If that's all that guy or woman had to do.
I don't feel like much, if any, of that trash is coming from the transfer station.
No.
Well, it's not, okay.
My assessment of that, and I'm sure Walmart bags, if you don't put a Walmart bag in a trash bag and it's a windy day, it's airborne. Okay, so that could come from anywhere, but the trash you see over there primarily looks like to me it's coming from where they're separating stuff out at Apex, and it just, I have no problem with your recommendation, but until something's done, I've never seen it be, we've addressed it 2 or 3 times, and you're just gonna postpone this for another year.
I wouldn't do
with
it
no
for a year.
teeth,
I wouldn't do it for a year.
I mean, the best I could think of, and this is just to allow them to keep operating, maybe just say you're going to temporarily approve it for 90 days contingent upon them putting into effect some of these 3 proposed plans, and you all will again review the permit for finality at a court meeting within those 90 days.
I like that a little better. That gives you some teeth. to
Maybe
let you
60
know that
days.
we're concerned about it. And I mean, I'm all for them. I want to close them down, shut them down. I just want to work with them, you know. If I lived in that community and had to drive by that every day, I mean,
Sure.
just,
It's
you
an
know.
ongoing problem.
It's like driving by Walmart. Walmart ain't
That's what I was
no
gonna
better.
say. Walmart's just as
Go
bad.
to Hollick Road. I mean,
noticed
matter of
that
fact,
the
I
other
think
day.
it's worse.
Bad right now.
You know, because it's a lot more traffic. But it's pitiful there at Walmart. I think Walmart ought to, like y'all. I mean, because all them bags, 99% of them are Walmart bags. And, man, if I was Walmart, I'd have an employee out there every day picking that crap up. But they don't.
That's bad for Mr. Mead. I mean, he
It
catches
is.
all of that.
That's right. It's just, it's a good thing there's a darn
Finch Road.
fence road there. If not, all that stuff would be out in the highway going across cars, you know. And, but, yeah, so on the Apex one, I'll make that motion to approve it for an additional 90 days to reevaluate their processes of one of these 3 things that they're claiming they're going to do, which I'm sure they are going to do. And let's see how effective that works.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we're just dealing with one right now.
Just one.
Okay, motion was made to approve it for 90 days and then a reevaluation of the permitting process.
Yes.
And I guess allow Nathan to work with him. And I had a second question. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
No,
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Make a motion to accept Auburn Pilot's renewal application, permit application as presented.
second.
Okay, got a motion second on a permit for Auburn Pallets. Question.
So, I mean, they have some issues too, right? Like you said.
They have, yeah, they have, and they've been working
Just
at it.
not as severe as the one that we just talked
No,
about.
nowhere close.
Okay.
No. Some of the
Okay, let's
folks-
have roll call. I have no question.
On your motion. we
On which-
need-
talking
we
about
need
back?
proper to back that up to 60 days, put an amendment in there.
It's already passed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can't amend the pass, you can, you know, you can do away with that one, but you can't amend that after it's voted on.
I know we all know that, we just left it, but one reason I vote no, I'll go out there sometime 3 or 4 straight days in the same boxes across the road in that fence, and they've had 3 or 4 days to pick them up, and the same ones are still there. That's what aggravates me more than anything else. I understand, like you said, if they don't do something, it's gonna keep blowing out.
And that's a public
Well,
road that's
we're
going
talking
across,
about-
and that becomes, and I know it's literally almost no traffic other than the people who are coming to those 2 businesses, but it's still a little bit of a public safety issue when you have that volume of trash blowing across the road. If that was blowing across 6880, it would be unacceptable, you know, and it's just a highly traveled area. And again, I think it's a process problem to where they're processing that. It looks like if they flip that a little bit or put up a fence inside that area, you know, where all that is caught, you know, then that fence right there would catch that, you know, but maybe there's just not a room that allows for it, but if they kind of got that stacked down a little bit and could move back 20 yards, then they could put up another fence and then it would catch 90% of that trash that's going across there.
So I did involve the state with that as well, when the issue first came up, and they, as far as what they're taking in there and where they put it and that type thing, and they thought everything was okay, is what they told me. So they weren't really willing to move on anything there, so. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely work on it.
But this is really the first time that we've talked about the issue, right?
Officially, yeah.
Officially talked about the issue. So,
Right.
so I mean, we have to give, you know, them somewhat, as a court, as a body, of a chance to make it right. Being that we haven't talked about that as a body of government yet. So, you know, that's why I'm okay with the 90 days, because, you know, yes, they need to, if 90 days it ain't fixed, then we just won't let them renew the contract. Or as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't vote to renew it. But, you know, they've got a family, they've got providing for, and they've got to have income. I understand that. But like I said, you know, we haven't talked about this as a body of government yet. So, now if we had talked about this before and it didn't happen and then they hadn't fixed it, then no, I probably wouldn't have went along with it. But since it's the first time we've talked about it, then we'll give them 90 days.
Okay, let's,
And as hard as it is to get anything done right now, as far as getting supplies and stuff, that's the main thing right now, finding people to.
okay,
Any
we
kind of
need to
construction's gonna
vote
be
on
done.
Auburn Pilot.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, roll call on
Dab-
Auburn Pilot.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
There's nothing else.
Thank you, Nathan.
Appreciate
thank
that.
you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Okay, judges' announcements. I think I covered all the department heads. Judges' announcement, we got a thank you card from Chamber of Commerce for the 2021 Logan County Tobacco and Heritage Festival. Your contribution played a vital part in making the festival a success. So, I just got that this morning. The Kentucky Master Association Spring Meeting is March the 9th and 10th at Louisville Marriott, downtown Louisville. The annual Chamber Dinner will be March the 10th at the Ascension office starting at 5:30. The Logan County Search and Rescue 50th Annual Fish Fry is on March 26th, starting at 5 p.m. at the Extension office. And is there anything else up there that I might have missed that y'all know of? Okay, not hearing anything. I don't know how many citizens we got here. We got Dale here, I know for sure. If there's anybody that would like to address the court, we ask that you come forward, you state your name and some vicinity of the county that you live in, and we ask that you do so now. Not seeing anybody moving, we'll need to move on to old business. We had a recommendation from a lawyer to postpone this to another court meeting on these discussions. And Joe, I don't know where you want to say anything.
Yeah, I think he had taken everything we talked about last week and made those proposed changes in the resolution, and he forwarded that to their counsel. I believe I got an email about that maybe on Sunday, and they had acknowledged getting it, and just with the quick turnaround, had not been able to fully get into everything. So I think everybody would just ask that it be pushed 2 weeks and should be ready for presentation then.
I'm a little confused. What was sent to them?
Mr. Musson made the changes consistent with our discussions as to proposals in the language
On the vegetation and setback? Is that
on
what
the
you're-
resolution for the financial issues. So.
Resolution for approving industrial bonds, a memorandum of agreement with Russell Solar, and a resolution in form of payment in lieu of tax agreement is what he's talking about.
I don't remember reviewing that document.
Well,
We
we
had
put
it
it
in
in
the
your,
last
we put it in your folder the last couple of three
And it's in
meetings.
there again.
So what was the pilot portion of that memorandum?
I can get you a copy of.
You should have it there in front of you, Tom.
Sure.
There's 3 resolutions in there.
What he sent to them was not in the folder, Judge.
No.
No.
So I guess what Thomas is asking, what did we
We
change?
asked him to take those questions that he had, and he was going to get back with us. I've not seen any.
He's not saying you all got to approve it, he was just getting certain language in there, so it would still be up for you all to approve, but starting the negotiation on certain issues, and I'd be happy to forward that to you if you would like.
Yeah, absolutely, because I'm interested in what the pilot program portion of that looked like monetarily.
Okay.
I've never seen that number, other than what Silicon Ranch. Have y'all seen it?
No, it still says 250.
Okay, I just want you, yeah, that's not
Well,
acceptable.
but-
If we sent them 250, that is not what, that's not even the direction we told him to go. I hope he didn't send him 250.
No, I think that every time we turn around, the solar company is trying to get this thing passed just quick. I would go ahead and be honest with y'all. I'm feeling uneasy about this whole deal on the IRBs. I don't like how the business parties went about it. I just don't like how.
I'm going to get that feeling too, if that was sent.
Well,
with language on the pilot that we strictly told them in executive session, what our concerns was, what our intent was, and he said he would talk to council and come get back with us with a recommendation.
I thought we was waiting on a number of what their savings were. Is that what we
That's
was
correct.
waiting
He
on?
was going to run the evaluation of the equipment and run those numbers and have those back to us for our review. I've not seen that.
Is that what's coming back to us, Joe?
The language that he's talking about are certain things like the issues with decommission and certain things like that. I don't think there are any final numbers in it, but it's just a part of negotiating and talking about getting
And
into
I'm okay.
that.
I was just going to get bent out of shape if
Are
they
these
send.
brand new documents?
No, he's
No.
making
Those are the
alterations
same
to
ones.
theirs.
So this $250,000, that's the old number.
Okay. All right. That's all.
I did put it, I put it in your folder this morning again because, this is part of the process if the county moves forward.
again, that's 250 million, ain't it?
Oh, yeah, that's the bond. Where's the 250,000 you're talking about, Thomas?
That would be in the pilot portion, which I don't see before us. That's the reason I'm asking. Where
That's the
is,
bond, it's $250,000.
where is the pilot portion? I agree, we asked about that decommission and how that's gonna be insured or capitalized, how we were gonna track that, who was gonna be responsible, where is that bond / and I know you sent me a text on that KRS. I can find everything but that.
Okay.
You know, but there is a KRS. I've got a thing I'm gonna send you that I found that was real good from the state, but
I mean, essentially, all they're asking for is more time, and that is coming from our guy as well. So y'all can make the final decision at the next court meeting, but just getting,
okay, you had me wigging out there just a little bit. I thought something was sent for them for their approval, especially on the pilot part of it, 'cause he is supposed to be getting back with us after.
nothing can be approved without you all approving it, so.
I do have a question that maybe, I don't know if they can answer this or not. We might need to ask our bond counsel, but I don't think there's any law, from what I've heard, if there's any law that says if we put a pilot in place with a yearly payment that the company is obligated to continue doing it. There's no law that says that they have to continue to pay that. Once we issue that RRB, those bonds, you know, the pilot's kind of a separate thing. You know, it's not, it's like,
There's nothing holding them accountable?
there's nothing, there's a hand.
That's what I've been wondering.
Just a handshake, you know, so if they sell the company again, which is likely, you know, we can't determine what their company's gonna do. If they sell the company again, I don't know that the new company can't say, you know what, we ain't paying him no pilot.
I don't think that's correct, because that is going to, help me with the name of that board at the state.
The siting board.
Yeah, so that is a state authorized program, and it is sent with them for approval. It is a industrial revenue bond issuance with a pilot. So both of those are being approved at a state level. I think less financial trouble they are gonna be obligated to make that payment just like they would if they had a loan at the bank, you know.
And that was a civil enforcement mechanism
They-
as well.
I don't think
mean,
they could just make 2 payments and say, you know what, we're just not gonna pay the pilot. We're gonna pay the bond, but we're not gonna pay the pilot. They would be in default.
Default of what? The taxes that they're not having to pay to the state?
the agreement for
The
one.
agreement, it's a-
The agreement, but.
I mean, we're talking about a contract.
Agreement, so.
I don't know. I just don't like the whole thing.
I don't either. I
just
told
don't
Thomas
like
that
it.
he got aggravated with me the last meeting, I was gonna vote against it.
I can get aggravated. Get on the field.
I mean, I'm like you, what if they go 4 years and they just quit paying?
Well, they're saying that that's not,
You're saying it.
they're
Well,
saying that
they-
that's not possible.
If they default, the way I understand it, they'd still have to turn around and pay the state the taxes on the equipment.
But just the process that this has taken, to me, is just unsettling, and it's, you know, they went out and made public announcements that they were going to give organizations X amount of dollars without coming to us first. That is like putting the cart before the horse. You know, I just don't like the way the business has been handling this whole thing. It just seems, you know, it's kind of rushed, and it's like, you know, they go out in the public and make announcements before talking to us about giving money to organizations and say, hey, we're going to give you some money, and then come to the county. By the way, we've already told them that we're going to give them this X amount of dollars. Are y'all okay with that? That is backwards business right there. And you know, it'd be like us going to the landowner saying, hey, they want y'all's property. You can get $1,500. $1,500 an acre. That's what they're going to give you. And then before they even make a deal, you know, I mean, so I just don't like the way that it's went down. It just makes me feel uneasy. And today, I wouldn't even be for it. So that's just my personal opinion. You know, I'm just one guy.
I'm the same way.
But anyway,
I told you that.
I guess we can wait and see what they bring back, you know, when they get the pilot all updated and everything, but we'll see.
This may be the wrong way of putting it, but to me, they should be sound and solid before they even come to the
We'll
court.
have to at some point.
Sound and solid before they even come to the court.
I get the concern that they go under, and that's something Barry and I have talked about, but I don't know what this agreement does not stop that one way or another. I mean, that still could happen, and it's just a matter of where the payments go while they're solvent. So I get the concern, but that's my thinking on it is, however you do this, it's not going to make them solvent or not. I think all of the other things behind that, that we talked about, or what you would need to consider on that. It is a TVA project and all of those things, but I mean, we're talking about the funds going to the state or us. I mean, that's the best way I know to look at it.
So if we don't issue the IRB, they'll still move forward. Is that what you're?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think they can even issue bonds without us, can't they? And it just,
Another-
this brings
They can do it with
Yeah,
another
the
entity.
Yeah.
Government.
They can go to the city of Russellville,
Yeah.
city of Lewisburg, city of Darrellville, city of Bowling Green.
Well, you take somebody like
It'd
City
be
of
unprecedented.
City
They
of
could
Lewisburg.
technically go to Louisville, Kentucky, and
Be,
say,
like you say,
we want you to issue
game
us
changer.
an IRB.
Yeah.
They just need a government entity to be the one issuing.
And if I understand it correctly, there's no liability on the government entity.
None whatsoever.
There's too many uncertainties for me to,
So if we
Feel
got the
comfortable
payment,
with
if we got $500,000 a year for
Appreciate
5
that.
years, which is,
They made one payment, it'd be that much ahead, but
The only thing is that one gentleman, that was their attorney, come and said the only time that anybody was held some reliable was Fruit of the Loom in Bowling Green. He was Silicon Ranch's attorney that come in that day, and he said the only time that anything was held reliable was Fruit of the Loom in Bowling Green. And it caught Bowling Green one time. And I don't know how that happened.
I remember a little bit of that comment, but I don't remember the situation.
I don't either.
I can't reply to that. I do remember him saying something about food and wine, but that went through bankruptcy, and Berkshire Hathaway bought that company. And was he talking about the legal expense that maybe Bowling had to go through to represent that through bankruptcy?
So I can't find out about that. I've tried. And if he hadn't mentioned it, everything else we see is, that there's no liability to whoever issues the bond. But by that one statement, it's got me concerned.
I think we can try to get more information on that between.
Will our bond counsel come back in open court next time?
He should be able to. If he's not, if it's all right with you, I mean, we could have him call as well, since you met him in person. I can't speak for his schedule in 2 weeks.
Because there's questions that we need to ask in open court to get answered.
I can check with him.
Mr. Muskin.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he does. He said 99% of what he does is bond counsel. He tells us
Muskin.
there's no
Mr.
liability.
Muskin,
County
yeah.
says-
He's a Muskie.
Then
Okay.
I take it as there's no liability.
Dale over there's holding an IRB, ask him. I said, you're holding an IRB. You've got an industrial revenue bond. Were you there when they issued it? No. Okay. Electric Plant Board has an industrial revenue bond. That's the
That's backed by
To the city of
by the
Russell.
county.
to the city of Russellville. That's the latest one that I am aware of.
When they did the expansion and all
Now,
that.
but it doesn't have a pilot, so they're not giving, anything.
So the
with
county
it.
don't
It's
have
just
one
an
right
IRB.
Didn't they do
Judge, did we
bonds?
do an IRB for Emerson?
No, we didn't.
I can't remember.
We did when it was built. I mean, the city of Russell did, it was built through IRBs, and I think Rockwell was too.
But
But
currently, we have no IRBs.
no, I think, going back through records, and, Joe, I asked Joe about this several times, there was one that the county, this county and some other counties issued, for waste management, but they've been paid off.
Okay.
And it was for equipment, and it wasn't just Logan County, it was about 5 counties on that IRB.
Doing an RRB, and I'm probably getting this confused, but an RRB for, say, the plant board or something on fiber optic is basically what we would be doing for Silicon Ranch. If we do it for a structure and machines, you have more collateral. I mean, if you lay fiber optic in the ground and it's got an industrial revenue bond, you can't go pull that stuff back up.
Yeah, but you own it,
What good is that?
So we might own a solar farm, we just buy it on county.
No, we wouldn't. The
No.
bond company would.
The bond company,
We don't own that.
if we have no risk. If we have no risk.
Well, I guess we'll just wait and see.
Okay,
what they come
let's
back.
just move on. We'll,
Okay, we'll just put this off to, table this till we, get a chance to, have our attorney here. Need to have a motion to do that, I guess, don't we, Joe?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to table the discussion under old business.
Second.
That was close. Robert Earl, okay.
I think that your motion needs to be until our council.
Until our council reviews
Okay.
and does whatever he's got to do.
Same second.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, new business. Discuss telephone and line at the jail. We had one day last week, I don't know exactly what was going on, but our telephones didn't work down there for about 8 hours. And I just need the court kind of, I guess, acknowledge what we've done. And talking to Tyler, We put a sign for the electric plant board to put one telephone in there that's hardwired in the jail in case something like this happens again. So it was about 8 hours that the telephone didn't work at all.
6 hours.
Yeah, the jail was in total dark as far as communication goes. Now we have a radio contact with ECC directly set up to where if the phone lines fail, then we have the radio communication now set up. But having said that, we still need that phone line to come in there.
It monthly charge $35, so it fell well within the limits.
Yeah, it's, they're gonna put it in the control room.
Right.
That's what Jamie and I talked about.
How does that work? Can any inmate make phone calls anytime they want to, or what?
This is totally separate from that.
Inmates
do
have their own phone. He's got a service that does that he had to.
Oh, it's a different service?
It is a different service. We contract that out with CPC.
This is their business line.
This is business
This
lines.
is business
Staff
lines.
and staff line. So, we have a contract with NetGreen, and they manage all of our phones, and they're all managed in the cloud. So, from what I've heard, I think maybe their internet was down for quite a while, 6 hours, I think is what.
About 8.
6 to 8, okay, 8 hours. And, and we do, as part of our contract, it is, when we put it out for bid, when their response was that there was redundancy of some cellular backup for a phone line, and I think that failed as well. So, we've had problems previously at the jail with communications on the phones, but that was fixed with the new phone contract, I think, with the newer phones. They was able to change the protocol to where it was connection instead of connectionless. But on the, we may need to talk to Scott or Annette Green and just, we need to do a check on all those redundancies and make sure those redundant paths are somehow being checked or monitored, that they're live, and not find out when it's when it's dead.
Yeah.
So was all the county's phone systems down
No.
for 8 hours?
It was just the jail, I
So
think.
the jail has a different cloud or different?
So they blamed it on AT&T, right? Is that what they said?
Of course, that's
Yeah,
what they
I
say.
know, we got the fingers pointing game going on still, but AT&T, I guess, provides, I thought we had electric plant board internet, but,
We do.
yeah, so
So what happened to fix it? I mean, did it
it came back online.
After they were notified, they got it up.
After that,
I think 6 a.m. in the morning, it came back online.
Yeah, they
But it was
notified
down
them,
at
so it
10
was,
o'clock.
so yeah, if our internet provider's EPV, I don't know that our internet went down, because the internet was still working, right? I was assuming, was your internet still working? You probably
I
don't
wasn't there.
recall. Okay, go ahead.
is it still working?
Sorry.
The cameras and?
Yes, our
Okay.
cameras.
But anyway, it'd be worth the conversation with Nick Green to make sure that all those redundant connections are active, because that was part of our contract. And I don't know, did you look at the contract and see how many hours, if we're down, that they were supposed to?
What the contract called for, that they had to respond within 8 hours.
Respond within 8 hours?
Respond within 8 hours.
They fell right in that guideline.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what you're asking about.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure that that's the case, because nobody else was in the office. It was
Well, only
10
people
o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in
TLC,
the
but they
morning.
they got different phones. But I thought they still had a couple of the phones like we have. I don't know. Either way.
ECC, none of their phones are voice over IP like the rest.
Okay.
What was that, man?
I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't hear what you said.
None of
The ECC, none of their phones are voice over IP like the rest of ours. They are truly AT&T.
Yeah.
Dispatch.
And that's the way the jail needs to be set up.
Right. Well, and I think, being as that the redundant path didn't work, it was a fair issue and not an internet issue. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was definitely, but we know, we can have a conversation with Scott if you want to get on a call and just, maybe we need to call him and see, you know, what their explanation is and make sure that that has been fixed, especially the redundant side of it.
I think that line that you're talking about putting in will be a security,
Right, make you
provide
feel-
some security
yeah, okay.
against some of that
Yeah.
failure.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah, I think, like I said, I went down to EPB last week and we signed up for it. They're probably a couple weeks out. They probably haven't been there yet. I think they're probably usually a couple weeks out on installing the phone line. Unless the boss tells them to get it quicker, I don't know.
well,
But anyway.
I'm sure they'll do the best they can.
Oh, yeah, they're busy, they're busy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
so we don't,
I'd like for the court to approve this line.
okay, I make a motion to approve the additional phone line at the jail. What was the cost?
$35 a month.
$35 per month.
Second.
35.
Will that line be through EPD?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be through EPB and it'll be a hardwired line. Like I think we already got one or two down there for the
Fire alarm.
fire alarm thing.
Is that going to include the phone? We need to talk about that.
Oh, no,
It'll
I
be
mean,
some, it'll be.
you can just go buy a little cheap phone, you know. I mean, not super cheap to where it don't work, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean, just a POTS phone, plain old telephone like you used to have hanging on the kitchen wall.
Okay.
So it'll plug in, it'll have a dial tone. So,
Okay, any more questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes,
We take a 5-minute break.
let's take a 5-minute break.
Thank you, Court.
I got another question. Now, let's go back to the phone line. Can the inmates call out, or what's their deal?
The inmates have their own phones hanging on the wall inside the cell, if you can picture that. That's a total separate phone system. They also have
Tyler.
video visitation where they can dial up and see face to face.
Do they have to pay or what?
Yeah, they have. That's on them.
Yeah, but how much would it cost?
Okay, we're back in session. The next item of business is, we've got the protocol for lead-based paint removal in the courthouse where it's needed, and I just wanted approval to go ahead and put this out for bid.
So moved. Second.
Y'all had a copy of it, so. Is there any questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, the next item of business, you don't have anything in your packet, but our architect's supposed to be here at 3 o'clock, and Thomas has agreed to come up and look at the plans with me. And basically to be the painting and wall repair in the courthouse, and the paving work outside where we picked those pavers and flower pots and stuff. He's supposed to be here at 3 o'clock, and according to his recommendations and the time period and things, I'd like to go ahead and get that out for bid too.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, is there any questions? Now, one more if you can come, if you want to, and look at the plans and make sure that everything is like it's supposed to be.
I know.
You didn't call the right people.
Okay, let's have roll call then.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, next item of business is the broadband service agreement with Pennyrile
Did we do that?
and
Yeah.
Rural Electric Cooperative for Area A, and the Russell Electric Plant Board for Area B. And I,
Clean copy of the B. Hey, Judge, I got a clean copy of that B without all the lines and everything on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I got one.
Page or two thin.
Contract report. Guess I can get that one. We've been back and forth with Compass and service providers. You know, we awarded, as y'all know, in the past, it's been a few minutes, so, you know, we awarded Area A to Pennyrile, we awarded Area B to Electric Plant Board, and we've been working on the contract. Like I said, Compass has been,
What's called a service agreement.
what's that?
Service agreement. what it's
Service
called.
agreement? Oh. Okay. So we've been working on the service agreement between the Pennyrile and ourselves, as well as Electric Plant Board, and Compass has received it, and they have looked it over, and we've been back and forth, had some grammar errors, and, you know, some other things that we wanted to make sure were in there, and they also had to put some things in there for ARPA, some language to make sure that, you know, if ARPA money is what is used, you know, if we don't get other funds to pay for it, some kind of way, that all that language is in the contract for the service agreement. But anyway, we've, that's all I really got to say about it, I guess, other than.
So this right here will allow us to move forward with construction?
Yes. Well, this right here we'll just need to approve the contracts to allow the judge and the entities to sign. Yeah. Service agreement, sorry.
So once we approve this and they're signed, they're ready to go to work.
They can go to work.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, Area B's timeline is like
12 months.
Than Area A.
Area A is like 3 years. because they have a lot more building to do, a lot more work, and they're working on the backbone already, actually, to get it to here. Pennyroyal's already started that process. And I think Electric Plant Board's already got some of theirs in spots where they're going to be providing. So they've already done some without a contract, so, we do appreciate that. But this contract will, just definitely get things moving a lot quicker. Of course, materials and everything right now is hard to get. Who knows? That's why it's really important for us to, I think, to try to get it moved forward as quickly as possible, because material and stuff right now, fiber, is, it's hard to get stuff right now. So they have to place orders that could take months to get their material in, unfortunately. That's the world we live in today. So now with gas prices and everything going up, I don't know. I'm sure they want to get it. I'm sure they want to get it, the order in before prices go up even more. So, but anyway. All right. Anybody have any questions about the contract, or I think Thomas is looking her over?
Yeah, I've skimmed it with these revisions, has gone back 9 times, so you think you get familiarized with it, and then you kind of forget a lot of stuff. So
Well, the one thing that you and I talked about was the billing aspect, the invoicing aspect that you was looking for. I had a hard time finding it too. That's
what is that under?
I think it's under responsibilities of the county. There's a section that says responsibilities of the county. It's a long contract, so it's hard to find. I think it's at the beginning, though. I don't remember it being at the end. Of course, we have our usual language that we have to say about being able to terminate the agreement, but it was very vague on the part about when they invoice us that we had to pay them within a timely manner. That's all it said. So the lawyer that works for Compass added more of a specific that, once work is completed, an itemized invoice to be sent to the county for material or labor or any kind of completed work that is pertaining to the service area that they were awarded.
So tell me again, how much are we, what are we giving, how much does it cost?
Up to $1 million electric plant board, because it could cost less. And then Pennyroyal's, I believe, was 3.5.
3.5.
3.5 million.
And this is 99% coverage or 100%?
100%.
100%.
And I think they mentioned we're the only county that, doing this type of project that was able to hopefully or award 100% coverage.
How far does this go out? All over the county?
All over the county.
We don't have it in Auburn.
Well, it goes out all over the county where there's not already services.
That's what I think.
So if you live in a Logan telephone area they already have fiber, they're not providing it for those areas.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You're just one of the fortunate ones
Yeah, just one of the fortunate ones.
right now.
And we put in for that NTIA grant. I don't know if y'all got any on that, but we did not get awarded the NTIA grant, the one that we put in with partnering with Electric Plant Board. We were not awarded that. As far as I'm very thankful that we have the ARPA money to spend towards this, because as far as our county goes right now with coverage on the internet, yes, we have areas that absolutely need it, and we're going to be 100% after we do all this. But from a grant standpoint, we look better than a lot of other areas, is what I'm saying. So, we a 90% coverage, if say we had 90% coverage in our county, that's a lot better than a lot of other counties. But this is 2022, we need to be 100% covered on the internet broadband, so, and this, you know, and we're on that path, and we're very blessed to be in that position.
Sounds good. We appreciate the work that you and Thomas has put into it to get all this rolling, and it's, like I
Well,
said,
the majority has done it all, other than that, read through them.
it's definitely a blessing to be in this position.
But, you know, we just got this draft of the EPB one last night after we made the changes with the payment, the invoicing part. And Dale and him and his lawyer has not had opportunity to look it over yet. And Joe probably needs to look it over for our end. But we've primarily been, I think, working with Thomas's lawyer. They've been kind of taking care of the language part. And he's been copying all the emails, so he's I think we're good on our side, but do want to give them opportunity to look at it again. I think it'll be fine, but if there are any minor changes to the contract that they would like to see us do, I mean, I would like to see us go ahead and approve these contracts today, pending any grammar errors or, you know, something that we can work out amongst the judge and I and Thomas and the providers to go ahead and get it moving. So I think, you know, like Thomas said, I think like a bunch of different times we've already been back and forth, and some of it's been grammar errors, and, you know, judge's name wasn't on one. It was just a lot of different small stuff. Yes. Termination clause, and then, so I mean, it's been a lot of, did you ever find that, Thomas?
Yeah, it's on the second, depends on which contract you're looking on.
I'm looking at
It's on the
EPB.
bottom of the second page, section,
Really?
number 4, contribution amounts, which
Oh.
really didn't see the language when it says.
No, that's not what that's not the
how
part.
and when, you know, the payments are made.
There's a
I never
different
did
one.
find
There's
it.
a different one.
I know it's in there because I saw the
But she,
I saw the email.
Well, she, you know, I sent her a recommendation, and of course I told her she needed to lawyer it up, you know. That was a redneck version, but she added some more things to it, which I thought was good, and there was nothing wrong with it. But I want to think it was under responsibilities. That says responsibilities of
The county shall
EPB.
pay, I'm reading Penny Rouse, Penny Rouse Electric and HES in a timely manner upon receipts of an itemized invoice, completed network extension work procurement and/or property performed in accordance with terms herein and applicable law.
Where you at,
Sure, there's a typo right there. Page 12,
you on,
paragraph G.
you on Penrose?
Yeah, go to page 12, paragraph G, and this is the Penny Rouse HES contract, and then that second sentence mentions EPB. That needs to be changed back to Penny Rouse.
Oh,
Go to page 12.
on the Penny Rock
On the
contract?
Penny Rouse.
Penrose on G,
And it says,
it says EPB
Go to
shall.
the second sentence, G, Penny Rouse, yada, 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 go to the second sentence.
EPB shall invoice.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
right there. That just needs to be, just typo stuff, you
Yeah.
know, because both contracts are all modes reading exactly a lot.
So that's, why is it different? Why is the Penny Rock HES one different? I don't know, we can work that out, but it seems like that one's different from what the other one is. And if I could find it in this big contract, I'd read it. I'd read it, because I like this one, what was on this EP one better than that. But as long as it says completed work, that's, oh, there it is. I think I found it.
Okay, any of these invoices that's sent to the county, we have to submit them to Compass before,
Yeah.
for approval, to pay. And hopefully we can get that done within the 30-day window
Okay, so
of paying the bill.
it says county shall pay EPB in a timely manner upon receipt of an itemized invoice for completed network extension work procured and are properly performed in accordance with terms herein and applicable law. EPB shall invoice the county monthly or as otherwise directed by the county for network extension work performed in the preceding month. Okay, so if the work is complete, okay, same thing, all right.
They just need to change on the penny route one, they just need to change that second
Yeah,
sentence. They need to remove.
It was just some
EPB
copy and pasting going on probably.
and make it penny route.
Yeah, that's fine. So,
I'll put if everybody's good with the contract, other than just one grammatical fix on Penny Rouse's contract, I put that in the form of a motion to allow Judge Joe to put the final review on it and execute the service agreement,
I'll second it.
both service agreements.
Yeah.
Just fix it.
Because they are both the same, just different names, other than the typo.
That's it, just fix it.
Okay, the electric plant board is not numbered, is it?
Sir?
The electric plant board is
I think when
numbered.
they printed it, they didn't print the page numbers on the electric plant board.
And also that Dunn's number they was looking for, the Dunn's number, she mentioned that the Dunn's number, but Dale has sent that email to us with, he sent us their Dunn's number, not a Dunn number, but their DUNS number. So that's just something we just got to plug in there, you know, in that contract. So will there be some amendments that's going to be made to the contract before they sign it? As long as y'all are okay with that, you know.
As long as you can up an alarm, and it shouldn't have to go.
I would just
Right.
make it substantive, that they're approving it so long as there's no substantive changes to the terms of the agreement. I think that's what you're getting at with
That's
minor
exactly
grammatical and lawyer-fine it, or whatever you said earlier.
Yeah, lawyered up.
Okay, Thomas, make your motion again.
So, Joe, what Joe said right there, just make a motion that we allow the judge to execute the two service agreements, broadband service agreement, one with the Area A, which is with Penny Route and HES, and Area B, which is with the electric plant board, with the noted modifications and just changes to the one error that we found in the contract.
Or any grammar errors, but just nothing, what'd you say?
Substantive changes to the terms of the contract.
Whatever that.
Yeah, that lawyer stuff.
That's it, fix it.
Okay, y'all know what the lawyer stuff is. Okay, we got a motion. Who seconded that?
I did. I still second it.
Any more discussions or questions? Okay, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yeah. Okay, next item of business is to approve to go ahead and advertise the ambulance service for fiscal year 22 and 23 to be open March 22nd.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Next item is to approve one more telephone line for order with Cross Path to order a line for the new position in the judge's office for the fiscal court clerk.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
Did we have a second?
Yeah, yeah.
Jack.
Yeah. I thought he was asking. I was like, I thought I heard one. I don't know who.
Okay, who seconded?
Jack.
Jack, okay. All right, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, next item of business, approach agenda.
Yeah, I do have a couple things, Judge.
Really?
I do, I'm sorry. But one of them is something that was in our folder, but I think it's not on the agenda, which is the resolution of the Logan County Fiscal Court form. Sorry, wrong paper. Cancel
What is
that.
this one right here about the
Rewind.
road?
That one, where's it at?
Let's use this one.
Yes, sir. So this is in our folders, but it's not on the agenda, but I think it's something that we need to go ahead and try to get past. It's just, we have to do it every census, and it's just listing all of our roads, and something that's,
Okay, you might read the resolution, but what it's about is about identifying county roads.
okay. Make a motion to approve the Logan County Fiscal Court resolution. Can you read all that?
Yeah.
Whereas the Logan County Fiscal Court agrees the following roads on attached Appendix A are part of the county road system, and whereas the Logan County Fiscal Court agrees the following roads on the attached Appendix B are not part of the county road system, and whereas the Logan County Fiscal Court maintains these roads on Appendix A. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Logan County Fiscal Court agrees the listed roads on Appendix A are part of the county road system, and those listed on B are not part of the county road system. And Judge, allow the judge to sign that.
That's got a list of roads.
So, I guess I'm confused why Appendix B is even relevant to anything.
I guess just to make it known.
That was roads that they came down and identified, you know, that, as private roads.
You know, we had roads, like I had a road in the subdivision that wasn't on the county road system. You know, mainly, I don't know, I'd have to look at that list, but probably at census time, it wasn't, it's probably listed.
Well, we're not adding none on those.
No.
I mean, there's
No.
5 roads.
Yeah, I don't know why those five,
That's
it's
what I'm saying.
more than
Oh,
five.
it's 500.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You have to do this every time there's a census.
I just wonder if these are roads that were once county roads and ended up being private again. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Logan County High School.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
Okay. Well,
Where do we get that?
Judge. Says you have to every time.
Yeah.
Do the census. Yeah. And I
All
get-
right, I'll second that.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay, you made the motion and
Jason second?
Jason second.
Yeah.
Okay, questions?
What are we doing again? I still, and I read it last night.
And the other thing.
It's, we have to, this is like the county inventory of roads that we have to approve for us every census. But nobody knows what Appendix B is.
Well, I read that last night, didn't know what I was reading.
All right.
What you're doing every census, you identify your road, and the next 10 years you get paid on that mileage. If another road's added after this, you don't get any money.
So
on that
really,
mileage of road.
Appendix B is irrelevant, really, because you only get the money, what's on Appendix A. I mean, so, you know what I'm saying?
But all the new roads are on there that we're taking on in the last few years. They've been identified.
Don't give up none of your roads, guys.
Do something if we still get paid on those roads. Because, we get paid on Appendix B because they're relevant for some reason. We get that knowledge.
Yep.
Is there any other question? And what they did, they just identified those, well, just like James Lake Road, part of it was in the county before, and they said it's in the city of Adderall now. So. Okay. Everybody ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
Let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Mr. Dakota Lane on here? That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay. Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah, and is Philip Lane, does Blake get added to it?
It's on it.
It's on it, okay. All right, yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Chick?
No,
Yes.
it's all crazy. It's like a CR, not a county road dash.
Yeah, it's, well, it should be.
Okay, any other post agenda?
You got something else? That's crazy.
Well, Alan, we get to make his motion, man.
I just
Top,
have,
top, ready to roll.
I just have a simple question.
All right, go.
My bridge down there in Lewisburg, when are we gonna be able to put that out for bid?
We'll be putting it out, probably sometime in April.
Okay, I'm just afraid, like everything else, the longer we wait, the higher it's gonna get.
Yeah.
But that's my question.
I have one quick thing after Tyler, too, but it'll be quick.
Are you wondering about the part you have to contribute to it?
Well, I wanna know what I'm gonna have to contribute, but I also wanna pave that road, and I'm not gonna pave that road until until the bridge is done. So it sounds like
Yeah.
I'm gonna pave it in the fall.
Well, that would be probably a 3-month deal.
Yeah.
And next magistrate to spend that money.
Yeah, that's right. Gotta stay to my 65.
All right, so this is a personnel thing. I haven't really had a chance to talk to you about it. He asked me this morning. He gave it to me this morning. This is something to do with the videos that they have to watch and read this document for 2 hours. It takes about an hour, is that right? For them to, it's on the substance abuse control policy. All of our employees have to do this. And the question is whether or not they get paid to do so while they're doing this, or if they don't. And my personal opinion is that they should get paid. They should be doing this on company time. We provide them the video, provide them the document, and they get paid while doing this. Now, it doesn't speak, I don't know what's been done in the past, but moving forward, I think this needs to be reviewed on company time.
I agree.
What do you say about that?
Video is watched where is it?
Video is watched, didn't we get a Chromebook or something to watch?
Yeah, we watch it they watch it when we're doing new hire paperwork. And the only problem with that is some of them fill out the paperwork and then never come to work. So we can't pay them.
Won't be added to their first check.
If they don't get it, if they show up, we don't never put them in the system until we're sure that they're actually going to be an employee, until they've actually worked.
Yeah, so I guess if they do this hour, we can't pay them if they're not an employee.
For just
though.
an hour, no, because it's a, well, I mean, I
It's
suppose you
not
could,
an
but it'd be
annual
kind of a
thing, man,
nightmare.
that
I don't know
every
how you
employee has to
could.
do
I
it.
don't
It's just,
think we would ask somebody to watch that until they've been hired.
Right.
Well,
That's
that's
what
the
you're
thing.
saying. If they've
Yes.
been hired, that's required that you watch.
So first week
They've
of the
been
year.
doing it.
And then they would get paid 1 hour.
Yeah.
I agree to that as long as they're doing it
As an employee.
while here as an employee. Now, if someone says, I don't want to watch it here, I want to go home and watch it on YouTube tonight, and I will sign that. That's their decision, and they should not be paid for that. But if they're clocked in, for lack of a better word, and they're here, and we say, we want you to sit down for 1 hour and watch this video and be properly trained, and we're gonna have somebody,
Yeah.
you know, facilitate that.
Right.
And absolutely, they should be paid.
Right, well, and I think other companies and
So-
industries, their first week of employment is nothing but training videos and, and they get paid for it, so.
Well, it's not that way at the jail. So you're saying don't do it when we do the initial paperwork? Don't have them sign any of that drug stuff? Have them do it after they've started work?
And so and all that, he's talking about this one video, right?
Well, on that form, they read that and watch the video.
They watch the video, then they read
That's
the
part
policy.
of the
Why can't
hour
they do this
involves
one?
reading
This
that
is-
paperwork and
I think that
signing
it's a
it.
part of the intake process, so I
It's
think
part
the
of our-
cleanest
and
way to do it
isn't
would be
in the
to say,
policy?
But why are we requiring them to watch a video when they're not even an employee
They
yet?
should have been doing that all along and it wasn't done. It's in the policy.
all right, all you have to do is give them a credit. When they come in and sign up with Janice and they watch the video, if they come to work, their first check, they will be compensated
hour.
for it. If they do not come to work, they just
Then
give
they're
up an
gonna pay.
hour of their time for watching the video.
Regular time.
Okay.
If they don't, yeah, I agree. If they don't show up,
Even if they
We-
work 40, you can do an hour for, the previous week or an hour for training.
but if they don't show up,
Then they don't get
Then
nothing.
they don't get paid, because
They
that's
just
a whole
lost their
nightmare
hour
to put
watching the
them in for
video
that.
and signing up.
Yeah.
That's the way I do it.
Okay. But I mean,
But I don't know if I want them to watch it at home, because somebody's gonna say they watched it and signed
No,
it, and
hell no.
Janice has gotta agree. Somebody's gotta sign on it that they watched the video.
And
I
that's-
think they need to do it here.
I agree.
do too, if they
That's
get
the only
paid.
thing I was saying. I don't
I do
want this
too.
to become everybody's gonna take it home and say they watched it and sign a form
Well-
and turned it in, they give me an extra hour.
we recently purchased a Chromebook for this, then to watch that YouTube video. I think it's YouTube video, right?
Yes, 2 of them.
If I took it home, I'd be watching Tombstone. They did the same.
I think they ought to watch it when they come to sign up for employment, and if they start to work and they get their first check, we compensate them 1 hour for watching it. If they don't show up, so be it.
Put that in form of motion.
I will.
All right. I'll second it.
There's been an effective date on it.
When, effective yesterday or today or when?
Well,
If you don't do that, it's gonna be in the middle of a payroll, so you gotta,
When's the next?
When's the best date for payroll to do this?
probably yesterday.
Okay, effective yesterday.
Yesterday. That would
Well,
be
that's Barry's motion.
3/7.
They're not going to make a special trip to town to watch a
I
movie.
mean, and I don't think you wanna go back and back pay
No,
these people.
it's just a
Because we've
one-time
got
deal.
2
too, man.
people
It's
coming
just
in,
one.
for instance,
Yeah, but
You're signing your paper.
tomorrow, and they'll
You're
start the
hired,
next day.
you put your
Give it a
W-9
second.
and your direct deposit form.
And soon they
Encompass
show
that
up.
in a week's
don't-
work.
But they won't get that hour until they show up
Encompass
to work.
that in a
And
week's
what they can
work.
do is
Yeah.
add
Don't
it
make
to their
them come
time
to
at the
town for
jail,
1 hour.
and
No.
they send their time sheet.
Right. That was Barry's motion.
And what is this video? Tell me one more time what this video is.
It is for substance abuse control policies, is the
For our
policy.
drug-free working environment.
One's on drugs and
I
one's
just
on
don't
alcohol.
understand why we're having to do anything, just honestly.
It's in the personnel
It's
policy.
in the personnel policy, and it's good for our
Personnel
employment.
policy is for employees, so they're gonna be on the clock, you know. I just wouldn't make them watch the video until you actually hire them and you're done. You know, just move that process of watching that video day one, you know what I'm saying?
The thing is,
But they
people work
probably gotta
night
sign a
shift.
piece of paper that
They have to
they,
sign a paper when they get hired. Yeah.
I'm sure they gotta sign a lot of
I
papers.
think the way Barry did it is the best way to do it, because in theory, your health insurance and your employment application would be a part of that as well, and we paying people for that as well, kind of opening up a can of worms. And I would say Phil probably wants them to be ready to come and work a shift and not spend the first day of that shift watching the video. So I think that's where the issue came up. But in terms of the benefit of having them do this, is we get a better rate for our workers' comp by having this policy, and it is something that's pushed
Well, I'm all
back.
for the policy. I just, you know. And again, I mean, we just don't start training until somebody becomes an employee.
See, the
You
problem
know,
with that is
we
you
do
got a
an
lot of-
interview, we hire them, and we do tons of safety training. I don't hire somebody day one and tell them, go get on the road. Okay, go, you sign this paper, watch this hour video, now go get on the road. I mean, we just don't do that. But I don't start training my employees until they actually are hired. Now, do they have to drug screen? Yes. Do they have to fill out all that paperwork? Yes. And I don't pay them for that. It's just part of the application interview process. You're taking a training process and
This
making
isn't a
it
job
part of
training,
your
though. This is just like
interview.
a basic part of going
Hire
through.
paperwork.
The hire paperwork is the way it's being done, and I think if you don't do it that way, either it's going to get complicated with actually starting their first day's work and going in. I would agree with that 100%.
It's required
If
for
it was
employment now.
like the training to actually do the job, but it's more just an HR informative process.
I'm so good with Barry's recommendation, just to give them the hour. You know, if they come to work.
That was yours, that one's mine.
Oh, yeah. And I probably got it somewhere in the stack, so I couldn't find it myself.
So are you seconding it?
Yes.
Thomas, are you reading something that pertains? to
No.
it?
No, I'm sorry. I'm reading this road thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking at the road.
Well, the road department out there, Kelly and Cindy, they went over it and over it and over it. You know what I'm talking about? That don't mean they wouldn't make a mistake, but they went over it.
Yeah, I like you.
And,
Killing time.
okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
No.
Chick,
Yes.
Anybody else got anything?
Well, you're on.
I make the motion with each other.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second to adjourn. That takes precedence over everything. So let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's on there. I was looking for one the other day, though. Oh.